Good morning, everybody. Movie Fan 2002 here, and it's time for me once again to react to this week's episode of My Little Pony Tales called Nightmare Night Market. Now, before I begin, I'd like to owe you guys an apology that I am sorry that I didn't get the chance to review Fiona and Cake and Ahsoka in their own reviews because I got a bit busy with some other stuff, and I obviously have a life outside of YouTube. So here's what I'm gonna do to make up for this. After I finish the reaction and give my thoughts on it, I'm gonna do both reviews, do mini reviews on both of them in here, as well as for a couple other things that I saw during in between the previous two in between this week's reaction and the previous one. That way I can at least make it up. And before you guys ask, don't worry, the reviews of The Marvels and Wish will be their own separate reviews. I promise you, those two are still gonna be in its own reviews. Yes, those two are for definite. No argument there. Okay, without wasting any time, we should quit wasting any time and get this thing started. Okay. Yeah, hold on, there it is. Yes. All right. Without further ado, we're gonna. Oh, and by the way, for those who are wondering, Make Your Mark Chapter 5 was actually pretty good. Very good. Yeah. Again, not as it did have some issues, but I still really liked it for what it was. Especially that they gave more focus on Misty. Yeah. Can't wait for the Secrets of Starlight special next month. God, I can't believe that's almost here. All right, let's get this started in 3, 2, 1. Hold on. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Finally get some quality time together.
Oh yes, for those who probably saw Chapter 5, you know that Alphabettle is Misty's father.
Dad! Wow!
Years of missing English is so nice.
Oh, I've seen this stuff before. You've got to be super careful or it'll totally turn you.
Uh-oh.
Hey, ponies! Who's ready
Okay, so
for
Alphabettle
some
did not
ice
turn
cream?
them into. Holy crap.
Misty, is that you? Okay. No pony move.
Okay, don't let the past get to you. You gotta. Oh, crap.
Ponies, Misty! I can't. I won't lose you again.
Holy frickin'. Whoa. Son.
Oh, no, you don't.
Whoa.
Get down from there.
This is entertaining though. It did remind me of that other short from last year when we were all and that glitter turned them into babies. Oh shit! Oh. No, don't do it, Hitch. Great. Now he's even more small.
Where'd he go? There he is.
Giant.
I'm too old for this.
This is chaos.
Misty, no! I'll always be here for you, Misty. Hoof to heart.
Look at them! They're weak, vulnerable. Now's my chance to get those cuties!
I certainly can't go out like this. Jade, Turtle, fetch my power crown.
No. Also, open that's like
Little thing.
open
There's gotta be
spot.
some way to get these ponies back to normal.
Come get your herbal teas, calming teas, relaxing teas.
That's it. Excuse me. This is a tea emergency.
If this tea will cure them.
Nice try. Let's get you back to normal.
What's going on?
My little filly, you're just like I remember you.
Time's up for you and your pathetic little friend, Sunny Star Scout.
Bow to. No! They're getting away! Get back here!
Well, looks like you could use some nice relaxing tea.
What? Tea? You think I want tea? No, I don't want your tea. But I will take something else. I didn't get all dressed up for nothing.
What are you doing? My cutie bar!
You're next, Sunny.
Okay, there's okay. I really hope I believe opening's gonna be a big threat like in the big like in the finale for chapter 5. Yeah. Yes. Well, not chapter 5, like make your mark, but yeah. So that was a pretty good episode. I will admit it does remind me a bit of what happened like in one of the earlier episodes, like with Pip's like perfume or something like that, but that turned them into, was it like a spray thing? I don't know, like, but like it turned Hitch, Sunny, and Izzy into babies. But yeah, still it was nice. So maybe sad, but it was still, so it was adorable. But even so, I still like this short. It was very nice. Okay, so now with that said, it's time for me to do the reviews, which better do them now. Okay, I'm gonna go. Let's start off with Ahsoka. So yeah. When I heard Ahsoka was being made, obviously like a lot of people, I was very excited for it because it was being created by Dave Filoni, the same guy who brought us the Clone Wars, Rebels, the Bad Batch, last year's Tales of the Jedi, yeah, all that good stuff. So I was pretty excited to see what they were gonna do. Even though I will admit, Mandalorian season 3, while I didn't think it was as bad as a lot of people said it was, in fact I thought it was pretty decent, it didn't hold the same candle as the first 2 seasons, so I was kind of concerned. But thankfully, I was proven wrong, and Ahsoka turned out to be a fantastic Star Wars show. I still say Andor is my favorite out of all of them at the moment. Although to be fair, the reason why it's now my favorite is because, like I said before, Mandalorian season 3 was a downgrade in comparison to the first 2 seasons. But yeah, in terms of my favorites, Ahsoka is my second favorite, right behind Andor. Yeah, there's just so much great stuff about it in it. Like the performances are great from everyone, which is actually a mixture between like different characters who are playing different actors who are playing the animated characters, as well as actors from the original show, like from the animated shows. Yeah, they continue to expand the lore. The characters are just fantastic. Like especially include some recognizable faces. They brought back Hayden Christensen's Ghost Anakin, which, although I knew was coming, it was obviously awesome to see. Seeing Grand Admiral Thrawn again was great. The action was freaking awesome. The new villains are just fantastic, in my opinion, especially Balin. Although I will admit, with how the season ended, it does make me concerned what they're going to do with him in the second season, considering the actor's passing. So I hope they they find a way to work that around. Yeah, the lightsaber fights were freaking cool, and it's getting me excited to see what the Heir to the Empire movie is going to be about. Like, yeah, hopefully that film gets a theatrical release, considering that like it's been a while since pretty much since 2019 since we had a Star Wars film on the big screen. So yeah, Ahsoka is a freaking awesome show, and I highly recommend it. Speaking of awesome shows, we also have Adventure Time, Fiona and Cake, which if you know me, I don't think I told you this yet, but I do love Fiona and Cake. I think it's a fantastic. But sorry. Let me rephrase that. I absolutely love Adventure Time. It was one of my favorite shows growing up, and it was actually one of the most influential shows in terms of Cartoon Network's history, as well as animated shows in general. In fact, I think it's the main reason to why we now have story-driven cartoons these days. Yes, Avatar The Last Airbender was the first mainstream animated story-driven cartoon, but Adventure Time solidified it. Because of that, we have shows like Gravity Falls, Steven Universe, Amphibia, The Owl House, and many more. See? Yeah. And now we have Fiona and Cake, which also the Distant Land specials were also very good, especially the one starring Finn and Jake with Together Again. That took my heartstrings. But yeah, Fiona and Cake was fantastic, and definitely a lot more mature than I was expecting. It was great, like seeing like we got to explore more of the multiverse, which is actually one of the few multiverse projects that actually anyone's okay with. Yeah, like the characters are great. Like Fiona and Simon definitely go through like a lot in the show. Cake is still pretty funny as well, especially with her sassy attitude. The Scarab, while not a great villain, he still serves as a formidable threat, and he can get pretty scary. Prismo gets a lot more to do in this. Okay, maybe not like a whole lot, but even so, like he definitely is a key player in this. It was great seeing many of the beloved characters again. Like we got to see an older version of Finn, Marceline and Princess Bubblegum make a couple of appearances, especially like in some of the alternate universes. Yeah, we go to like a different universes in this show. We get to see many of our familiar faces. The animation's fantastic. Sure, it's still like the same quality as the other two shows, but it's still great to look at. Although there are some moments like when it's very exceptional. Sorry, I thought I saw something outside. Yeah, like very exceptional, especially like during the Winter King's number in The Winter King, which yes, that is a fantastic episode. Although I go back between which one I like more. It's either that episode or the final 3 episodes. Yeah, it's just a fantastic series, and I love how it ends. Now, some people are saying that like they would get a season 2, and well, I will admit, without going too much into spoilers, while I was hesitant about it at first, I will admit, maybe yeah, considering like there are some loose ends that do need to be resolved. Not a whole lot, just some. Although, to be fair, considering that Fiona and Simon's arcs did conclude amazingly, I'm not entirely so sure if I want it. Oh, and speaking of Simon, remember back when people were memeing like all the Owl House characters, including the Hex Squad, needed therapy after the finale? Well, at least during season 3. Well, honestly, I think Simon needed therapy much more than those guys do, considering that he suffered because it was much more harder for him. Okay, maybe the Collector is possibly on par with. Maybe the Collector and Ida are probably on par with them, and maybe as well as Hunter. But even so, Simon really was in a very downward spiral at the start of the series, at the start of the season, in comparison to the ending. So yeah, Fiona and Cake, fantastic. But and as for other things I saw, like there was also The Creator, which I actually saw it like, and I gotta say, I was very impressed with that film. I will admit, yes, that's in terms of the story, like, while it does seem original, it does seem a bit similar to some other projects. In fact, while many people are comparing it to both The Last of Us and The Mandalorian, although instead of having Pedro Pascal, the main character is played by John David Washington, which, by the way, Super Jack Show 1, I acknowledge that of your decision of, like, if he should have been the replacement cast for T'Challa in the MCU, which I somewhat agree, but but at the other hand, I somewhat don't. But I do see where you're coming from. Like, if they decided to recast him, he would have been the perfect choice. Then Wakanda Forever would have been somewhat different. I said somewhat because some of the things from that film were were in the final cut. But yeah. But back onto the creator, it's basically like a man like looking after this kid in this big war that is like going on. And not only that, it seems similarly to the Owl House season 3, more specifically the final 2 episodes, For the Future and Watching and Dreaming, where, let's see here, you're in a war. Let's see here, like an entire race is in chaos, and a team has to go like to stop this threat. But then a couple of people, or in the case of a person, or in the case of the Owl House, a few people decide to help this person that turns out to be a kid, and like during this big war, and teach them like the ways of life. So, yeah, that does seem kind of similar to that. But does that mean the movie's bad just because of that one thing? No, I still thought the film was fantastic. Like, of course, on a visual level, this movie's like one of the most beautiful looking films I've ever seen. This is possibly the most beautiful looking film of the year, like, in terms of live action movies. Like, it's just amazing. Like you're looking at it like, whoa, how did they manage to pull all this off? Like, it's that incredible. Like, it has an $80 million budget, yet the budget feels like it's much higher. That's how amazing this movie looks. Of course, the casting is great from everybody. It does have a really engaging story. There's some very dramatic moments in there, and it actually has a very great commentary. Like, it has such a great commentary, like, when it comes to AI, especially like when we've been dealing like with the past few months. Like, it's somewhat of a good reminder. Yeah. All in all, just like, I just really love the creator. I just thought it's definitely one of the more underrated films of the year. Apparently, a lot of people didn't go see it because they went to go see Saw X instead. But if you want to, but please go see it like when you have the chance, just so we can support more original sci-fi films in the future. And lastly, the last thing I want to talk about is, now this one I was originally going to talk about a few days ago because it was the 100th anniversary of this thing I'm about to talk about. But oh well, better late than never. And that is Once Upon a Studio, the animated short to celebrate Walt Disney Animation Studios' 100th anniversary. Man, now talk about a beautiful tribute. This is how you celebrate the animation studio's 100th anniversary, by having all the animated characters from all their films, and even from some of their live action films and TV specials that were all made at Disney Animation come together for this, just to get a group photo. Like, it's simple in story, but the way how it's presented, it's just so beautiful and fantastic that you just can't help but have a big smile on your face from start to finish. Yeah, just like, I was just it's such a fantastic short. I am surprised that like they did release it a lot sooner, because it was initially supposed to be like released in front of Wish, but like, oh well, like release it on Disney's 100th anniversary is actually not so bad of an idea. Yeah. Although, yeah, like it was great like seeing like all these characters again, like especially with many of the hand drawn stuff. They even got like archival recordings from some of their films to be put into it. Especially that they decided to use some deleted audio from Robin Williams for the genie, and it didn't use AI. They just found like archival recordings and just decided to put it in, which worked very well. Yeah, so, it's such a beautiful short, and the combination of 2D and 3D animation was great as well. Like, this is such a fantastic short. Although I will admit, I am bummed out that the short is not going to be shown in front of Wish anymore, but I do understand why. I mean, it's already released on Disney+. Although, to be fair, if Bob Iger does tell the directors that they still wants the short to be played in front of the film, I wouldn't be mad, because, it would be awesome to see this short in front of the movie. Although, I will be watching the short on the day I go see Wish, like, right before I go see the movie, just so I can pretend that I at least so much saw it in front of Wish. Well, I said pretend, although I'm not. No. I'm not gonna bring my phone and like watch and like watch it like from some website like before I go watch like right when I'm in the theater. No. I'm gonna watch it from Disney Plus at home, and then go to the theater to watch Wish like whenever I decide to like that day. So I'm gonna like talk about my family first. Like I'm gonna see it that evening, and ask like if anyone wants to come. Yeah. Yes, I'm really looking forward to Wish. The short actually makes me more excited to watch Wish. In fact, I'm gonna say it. Wish is my most anticipated film for the rest of this year. I am not joking. In fact, because ever since June Part 2 got delayed, like Wish is my most anticipated. Yes, I was also excited for the creator as well, but Wish was more of a big deal because it's the studio's 100th anniversary. Well, it technically was, but it still sort of is because we're still in that celebration phase. Yeah. Anyways, and I'm glad that movie is getting a lot of marketing. I'm certainly am. Yeah, but back to Once Upon a Studio, such a fantastic short, and I'm glad that a lot of people also loving it as well. Like on Letterboxd, like everyone's like praising the short, calling it like one of the best Disney shorts ever. Heck, it might possibly be my favorite Disney short of all time. That might be a stretch considering the amount of amazing shorts we have, but it's that good. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching this reaction and mini reviews. Stay tuned. I got some other videos coming in the way, although that'll depend on my schedule. And I'll try to do something Halloween related this year. I promise you, I will try to. So yeah. So until the next video comes, if you'd like to stay part of this channel, all you have to do is click that subscribe button down below. Like this video if you really enjoyed it. And until next time, peace and take care. Oh, and by the way, the next time I record on this video, I record on my camera. Maybe I'm saying maybe. Well, if that is the next time, I'm not so sure because if I'm wrong, you might see some new additions to the wall.